Hello and welcome back to my book, The A to Z of Alcohol and Sobriety, Everything You Need to Know. Today we're reading from chapter G, which includes things such as grounding, growth and gratitude. But we're going to start with GABA. It's a body chemical that reduces our anxiety and fear response by calming our nervous system. When levels are low, it can lead to increased stress, anxiety, depression, and even schizophrenia. Imbalances in GABA can also cause epilepsy and movement disorders. And of course, alcohol affects GABA. It actually stimulates its activity, blocking our nerve messages and creating that warm, calm feeling. But this is only temporary. And eventually, we need more and more to create the same feeling of relaxation. Bring on addiction. Gambling. I like a little bit of bingo every now and again, and the slot machines, although never over 20p a go, and usually the 2p cascades. But I've never really been a gambler. My ex-husband was, and I hated it. He wasted thousands of pounds. He was deceitful. He lied. It robbed us of our time together and built a great rift between us. Oh shit. I clearly was a gambler. I did all of that. And also gambled on the worst thing of all, the life of myself and others. Genetics can make us more prone to alcohol addiction and to illness caused by alcohol. According to the World Health Organization, way back in 2004, 2 billion of us were drinking alcohol and 76.3 million of us had an alcohol use disorder. That's more than a quarter. I suspect that this has increased since, but I cannot currently find more up-to-date global data. This isn't all down to genetics though. Environment and social factors also play a part. But studies with twins, mice and adopted children do highlight genetics as a contributing cause, and some even refer to alcohol addiction as a genetic disease. Gifts. Sobriety is the best gift we can give to ourselves and to others. It really is a blessing to wake up refreshed and hangover free, to remember what we have said and done, and to be there for ourselves and others. But if we want to treat ourselves, then why not? Drinking me would see things that I liked and then ask, but do I really need it? And then not buy it. Sober me realises I don't really need it. But I now buy things as a treat because it's nice to do so. I equate it to how many bottles of wine it would have been in value, but I have got a bit carried away from time to time. Glennon Doyle, author of Carry On Warrior, Love Warrior and Untamed, in which she writes about her struggle and recovery from addiction and bulimia. I've read Untamed and I loved it. In her introduction, she talks of a cheetah born in captivity who has known nothing else. The cheetah is looking out of her cage in a yearning way. Glennon feels the cheetah is longing for the wild and refers to this as our knowing. And so starts her writing of how we too are tamed and how we can break free. Gold. If we can look for this in everything we see and do, then there will always be far more than a silver lining. Find it and you will be the richest person alive. The Parable of the Beggar. The treasure you see is within you, from Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. A beggar had been sitting by the side of the road for over 30 years. One day, a stranger walked by. "Spare some change," mumbled the beggar, mechanically, holding out his old baseball cap. "I have nothing to give you," said the stranger. Then he asked, "What's that you are sitting on?" "Nothing," replied the beggar, "just an old box. I've been sitting on it for as long as I can remember." "Ever looked inside?" asked the stranger. "No," said the beggar. "What's the point? There's nothing in there." "Have a look inside," said the stranger. The beggar managed to pry open the lid. With astonishment, disbelief and elation, he saw that the box was filled with gold. Good enough. That's you. Yes, I'm talking to you. There you are, right there. You are good enough, as is everything you are doing. Good enough is enough. Anything else is very overrated. Government. If alcohol is so bad, then why doesn't the government step in and do something about it? It's a simple answer. Money. According to Statista.com, the UK tax received from alcohol in 2021 to 2022 was around £13.1 billion, up £1 billion from the previous year. During lockdown, off licences were seen as essential shops and allowed to stay open, and pubs were one of the first venues to reopen, albeit with a 10 p.m. curfew. With the exception of the government, of course, whose bars were allowed to remain open as our MPs were busy working away into the night whilst anaesthetising themselves through a crisis. Gratitude is the key to happy living. Research has shown that being grateful helps us to feel less alone, lifts our mood, eases pain, and can improve our sleep. I'm grateful for so much now, including having had an addiction. If I hadn't had this, I wouldn't have found so many wonderful like-minded people from all over the world. At last, I fit in, and have learnt that there is nothing wrong with me or who I am. And that is amazing. What are you grateful for today? It could be as simple as seeing the sunshine or hearing the birds sing. Writing a gratitude journal can be really helpful. Just write 3 things you are grateful for each day. Grounding. Most of us have probably heard of the new trend of grounding or being grounded, of stopping what we are doing, feeling our feet on the floor and being in the moment. It's a mindfulness technique, but it isn't actually anything new. It's actually a very natural concept that fashion and expectations of the norms has been restraining us from for years. We are electrical beings and very positively charged. The earth is negative and we need the tune of this to keep us in check, get rid of excess energy and be grounded. So kick off your shoes and go stand on the grass. Better still, go lie directly on it. Walk barefoot along the edge of the ocean or through a forest. You could do a bit of forest bathing whilst you were there, or just around your garden, a local park or street, or just stand barefoot in the moment. We don't need to waste money on expensive grounding mats. We just need to strip off and connect with Mother Nature. Growing up. Something we have to do in sobriety. We may think we are adults when we are drinking, and our body can confirm that we are. But mentally, after blocking, numbing and anaesthetising it all for so long? Sober is that feeling when you are looking for the adult in the room and you suddenly realise it's you. Don't get me wrong, we mostly act as adults every day when we are drinking. We go through the motions, but we avoid the emotions. There are times that I really do not like this grown-up sober shit, but I know that it is so worth it. Growth. Just as smoking cigarettes stunts our growth, alcohol does this too. It makes everything malfunction, slow down, and eventually stop working altogether. But remember, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. What's done is done, but we can use our experiences to help ourselves and others. Sober, we grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, creatively and financially, and we can learn to forgive and free ourselves from burden. Guidance. What better place to go for guidance than from those that are going through something similar? One-to-one therapy is good, but groups of people who have lived experience are even better. Many Quitlit and self-help books are written by people on a similar journey. We really don't need to reinvent the wheel, and it's great if we can accept that others can help. My lifetime thought of "I don't need anyone else" had to be thrown out of the window from a great height. I've tried quitting many times before, but it only worked when I found my support communities. I read and got involved with podcasting and supporting others. It is easier to climb a mountain with support and guidance from those that have gone before us. Let others walk by your side. It really is a far less lonely path. Guilt. We can seem to be an endless hive of guilt, turning our lives inside out and churning ourselves up. Feeling guilty may have led some of us to drink, and then we feel guilty about our drinking and our behaviour. It really can be a never-ending circle, but only if we allow it to be. The hardest person to forgive is ourselves, but we can do it, and it helps if we can write it all out. Write letters to yourself and to others, and if you think it will help, then write a karma letter to send to others. Or if you feel brave enough, then go and talk to them. But only if you think that it's going to help both you and them. Don't cause more stress and upset just to relieve your guilty conscience. Some things really are best left unsaid. Gullible. Well, I've always been easily persuadable, despite my driving force that you can't trust anyone. Possibly because I've always looked at the world through rose-tinted glasses. I'm a romantic at heart, and I believe the stuff of Mills and Boon. What a harsh awakening real life was. But I still wanted it all to be true, so I drank away my disappointment with the world, and drunk me was even more gullible and persuadable to believe and do things that I probably would have resisted a little bit more if I'd been sober. Alcohol equals gullible, equals vulnerable, equals risk. Gut is our gastrointestinal tract and starts at our mouth and ends at our anus. It includes our mouth, esophagus, the pipe running from our mouth to our stomach, the appendix, and our intestines. Our gut is our digestive tract and mostly responsible for breaking down our food, absorbing nutrients, and getting rid of food waste and other things we no longer need in the form of poo. We have muscles, our sphincters, either side of our stomach, which open and close to let food in and out and keep our stomach acid in place. Alcohol can interfere with these, making them slack and allowing stomach acid to seep into our esophagus, causing heartburn. It also affects the lining of our gut directly, causing mouth, esophageal and bowel cancer. Alcohol is absorbed in our small intestine and taken straight to the liver, increasing the risk of liver damage and stops us from absorbing nutrients correctly. Gut health is said to be the future of medicine, and I really feel this is true. We have over 50 trillion tiny organisms in our digestive system, and there are 1,000 different types. We need to feed them well to keep them healthy and help them to thrive. Out with the alcohol, sugary drinks and junk food, in with fresh, unprocessed and natural foods. We really are what we eat. For more information on this, I can recommend the Clever Guts Diet, How to Revolutionise Your Body from the Inside Out by Dr. Michael Mosley, the late Dr. Michael Mosley, should I say. And 10% Human, How Your Body's Microbes Hold the Key to Health and Happiness by Alana Cullen. They have conflicting views on how much of us is bacteria, but it's at least half. Gut instinct. Feel it, listen to it, and go with it. It really can tell us so much. Even when I was mental health nursing, it was okay to go with this and record that we had done so. There is a very large nervous system, our vagus nerve, in our gut, and it is often referred to as our second brain. Listen to your tummy today. It really does have so much to tell you. And all the other chapters that I've read are in the description below. I'll be back again soon with H. Ta-ta for now.